beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. We're here today to talk about Kandi and the gang. You guys, this was a hot mess. Hot ass mess. But it starts off with Kandi and Todd getting in their car. They're on their way down to the old lady gang. And they're talking about how they haven't had a GM in 2 years. No, a year. And they've lost two of them, though. And none of that sounds good. The fact that they lost two is not good. And the fact that they've gone an entire year without having one, that's no good. And she says it's like the Wild Wild West. I bet it is. But apparently they have some guy named Philip, so hopefully everything is going to get better soon. But that's just bad business, y'all. I understand y'all can't be there, but get somebody that can be there. And why are all the GMs leaving? What's the problem? Okay, so they're saying who Philip is, and Philip is apparently someone who worked at Blaze. He's director of operations, so they want him to go ahead and come on over to OLG. They're showing him working out or whatever. Very nice body. I don't know if he's gay or not. I mean, I guess it don't matter. He could still be hot, which he is. I like his look, his whole chiseled look. I like the sternness, all of that. I am all about it, you guys, because I too am stern like that. Well, I don't think I'm as bad as him because they're showing him, I guess he's at Blaze talking to people and he's like, pause. And they keep talking and he's like, do you guys not understand what pause means? I guess there's a way to talk to people, but some people will just keep going and walk all over you. So maybe he has to talk to them that way. I don't know. We'll see. So they make it to the restaurant and they're sitting down with Don Juan and Philip. And yeah, Philip is kind of gorgeous, you guys. I'm sorry. His whole chiseled everything is everything. But yeah, they sit down with Don Juan and I don't like Don Juan. I'm going to try to give him a clean slate right now, but I didn't like him on Real Housewives of Atlanta because I just felt like he was very messy. I really did. And I don't know, I just didn't like him. But like I said, we're gonna try with the clean slate. He's her right-hand man, and apparently he's doing stuff at OLG that he's technically not supposed to be doing. She's like, it wouldn't even be running if not for him, but that's really not his job. He works with Kandi and not really for the restaurant. Okay, so Philip has been there for about a week, and she's like, do they have any idea, what you're doing here? He's like, no, I just been working. They think I'm here working on the menu. So a little background on him. He was working for a company, I think he said 16 years, and they recruited him. He said that the OLG gang is nothing like where he came from. And then he started laughing, saying, I shouldn't say that. Apparently, they were very well structured and everything, and this is not it. So he said that Kandi said some people don't like him already or whatever. And he's like, answer that I love. He's like, yes, some people who have a problem with me are probably the ones that are part of the problem. I'm like, you better say that, Philip. Now we are introduced to Chandrika. Yes, that is her name. Chandrika in her wig. And the wig does not look good. I'm sorry. It looks atrocious. It's a mess. So they're talking about how she's she's a good hostess. However, she gets really bad reviews. She's very sarcastic. She has a smart mouth. She has an attitude problem. And Kandi's laughing at this. You guys, I learned so much about Kandi during this one episode. And I don't know if this is good for her business because you know what I learned? I learned that I don't ever want to go here. And that is the truth. I don't ever want to go to OLG. But back to the show. Yeah, so we're learning about Chandrika, girl. And the first thing she said out her mouth in her little montage is she planned on sitting down all day. Couldn't be working for me. Could not be. Because she plays none of that. Dominique, and yes, that is her name. It's not Dominique, it's Dominique. She's a bartender. Apparently, she's been there for 5 years. She's been in Atlanta for 5 years. She's a dancer. She's done background dancing for Megan Thee Stallion. She didn't say anybody else, but they said dancing comes first and they come second. And Todd is like, yeah, that's true. What's wrong with them, y'all? Like, what? Why do they accept this? Y'all can do better. You guys deserve better. All right, Brandon, he's a manager. Apparently, when they lost all their GMs or whatever, he stepped into the position. However, he has not been officially trained, so he's not really good at it. We see him talking to the staff. He's like, "Hey, how everybody doing?" Nobody answers. He asked the kitchen how it's going. The guy in the kitchen said, "We got everything." So he's like, "All right, good. That's it? Really?" Philip is telling them how people are just disrespectful, and he's like, and unfortunately, some people in your family, and she's looking all crazy. And Todd is like, yeah, it's hard enough trying to deal with the staff, but then when you have the old lady gang coming in trying to tell you what to do and tell you this and that, it's hard. And she's giving him a look like, don't be talking about my aunties and my mama, but Kandi, you know that they are a mess. So you need to get that, like wrangle them in some. They are a mess. I think it's funny, you guys, is the fact that social media and bloggers, I'm not sure which one started it, but a blogger gave them the name Old Lady Gang. Absolutely, a blogger gave them that name, and now they're actually going with it or whatever. So she asked if they consider themselves a gang. She said no, because we go to church every Sunday. And then Mama Joyce is like, with the exception of me. And I'm like, how did we know already, Mama Joyce? How did we know? And speaking of social media, making up terms or whatever, the green-eyed monsters or bandits or whatever, the fact that they took it too, Giselle and Robin took on a social media name, it's hilarious to me. And again, I would love to remember exactly which one I don't know why. I'm just feeling like it's For It's Rocks or Alex. But they make up names and these people like kind of latch onto them. Love it. So as the staff is having a meeting, Kandi, Philip, Don Juan, and Todd come upstairs and they walk in and the staff is like, oh shit. Dom Unique said somebody's getting fired. So Kandi introduces Philip and says, you guys know him. He's going to be taking over. And when she does it, she kind of puts her hand on his collar, but she squeezes a couple times. And I'm like, yeah, Kandi, get some free feels. I ain't mad at you. And then we have, I can't remember her name and her wig talking about, ew, I don't like him. Girl, I'm not sure if they heard Chandrika or not saying she don't like him, but Don Juan is like, no, Todd says, Chandrika, you remember how you used to be all fun or whatever? Don Juan is like, well, her energy ain't giving off fun right now. And I'm like, thank you. Somebody pointed out. And Todd is saying something about the takeover. And she's like, well, they trying to take over. We the originals. Who are you talking to? These are the owners. Fucking original. Like, are you kidding me? You can go. You can go. And Dom Unique in the back saying, we love it here sometimes. Bitch, you can go too. Like, I could not be me. So as Philip is talking, and he's talking about how, they have to take on, respect authority and the fact that they're going into a different direction and just kind of go with it. She's not looking at him. You guys, I do this all the time as a sign of disrespect. When I want you to stop talking to me or I have zero interest in you as a person, I am not looking at you as you speak to me. It is super rude. I know, but that's what she's doing. And y'all, she is a problem. But Kandi tells them that they want to do some sort of a OLG reunion. And I'm like, girl, get your shit together first. Get your whole staff and drawn together. You got carpet being laid and everything. You are not ready to give a party. Oh, okay, Don Juan. Don Juan. Okay, we are starting off from scratch with Don Juan. He tells her, let me speak to you. Chandrika, whatever her name is. And he takes her to the side and he's like, what is going on with you? And she's like, I don't like him. And he's like, listen, what he says goes. So we're going to have a conversation. And she's like, cool. And I'm like, there's no conversation needed. What he says goes, or you can go, which is exactly what Philip said in his confessional. He said, listen, they can either shape up or ship themselves out. And I said, ooh wee, y'all, ooh wee, like authority? That authority shit? Love it. So Don Juan takes them to the side to go talk, and she's trying to go back and forth with him. And he says, listen, this is what I don't do. I don't go back and forth with hourly employees that I employ to do a job with a certain level of professionalism. Yes, shut her all the way up, because she is the opposite of professional. She's unprofessional. We have Kandi and Todd out in front, and they're talking about how, Kandi says Chandrika didn't even want to look at him. Good. So you caught on to the disrespect as well. And Todd is like, yeah, she's not used to structure or whatever. So in the confessional, Kandi is saying how when you have someone that's loyal to you, and Todd is like, yo, she could be loyal, but if they're loyal and not doing what you need them to do, and that's my whole thing. Like, Todd is all on board with Philip and the way he's doing things. He wants to get it done right. And Kandi is like super, she needs a backbone. I'm sorry. I am very surprised that she runs her business the way she runs her business. She definitely needs a backbone. Like, you can't have all this love and loyalty and all that or whatever if you're doing business. You just cannot. Like, disrespect, the rudeness, she's getting bad reviews or what. Come on. Are you kidding me, Kandi? This whole conversation with Chandrika, Philip, and Don Juan is just a problem. Like, she's mad disrespectful with the whole I don't care about your presence. He's like, well, listen. She's like, I'll just keep talking to Don Juan. He said, well, fine. If you want to keep talking to Don Juan, you can do it not working here. And I'm like, you better lean all the way into your position, sir. You better talk like that's your restaurant. I'm not mad at that. And she walks off crying. What does Philip say? Oh, that's not going to work. Like, girl, your tears, cry me a river, it's not going to work. He want to fire her right then and there for sure. To wrap it up, Don Juan just tells her, listen, this is what it is, and you just pretty much got to get with it. So in the confessional, Don Juan says that Philip is coming with the whole stick in the booty. And I'm like, dude, who says that? What guy says booty? I don't know a man that says booty like that. He got a stick in the ass or whatever. Like, okay. But he also said that change is good. He said that's not how he would run a business, but change is good. I kind of feel like he would run a business like that. I don't know why, but I got that from Real Housewives of Atlanta, that he's kind of a stickler. I ain't mad at sticklers. I'm just really not. But he said, change is good, so I can respect that. The fact that he's saying that's not how he would run it, but he's respecting the fact that that's how Philip is running it. I love it. I love how they're giving him just do it. Do what you need to do, to make it happen, because they know they need some sort of change. Like, it is a madhouse there. They're setting up these little ass chairs and tables for people to start coming in, and Chandrika goes behind the bar and she's talking to Dom, and she's like, yeah, and he's doing all this, it's my way or the highway or whatever. And he's like, yo, why are we still talking about this? Like, I'm not standing in the middle of the room. Chandrika, you can go home. Period. Yes, y'all. He gave me everything I needed in this whole episode. I'm not even kidding you. So he sent her ass home. Great. Philip tells Don Juan he sent her home. He told him why. And in the confessional, he says, listen, sometimes you have to put your foot down with tenured employees because they feel very entitled, like they don't like change. I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was right on point because it's what I'm dealing with at my job right now. Like, tenured employees feel like, listen, what I have been doing for this 10, 11 years is what's going to keep going on. And no, no, ma'am, no, sir, no, it's not. So that is what I have going on as well. So yeah, what he's saying is fact. So Don Juan goes to tell Kandi and Todd. Candy's like, why you have to send her home? No. Todd is like, listen, if you're disrespectful, you gotta send a message. And I'm like, I'm so surprised by Kandi and her reactions. But I guess I shouldn't be, because that's how she is with her family. But these are not your this is affecting your business. So yeah, I'm a little surprised by her and reactions and her responses to everything. Is just like, let people get away with shit and it affects your business, girl. I love Todd too. In the confessional, he said, yeah, if you're disrespectful, I will send that ass home. And he said it just so nicely, and she said that's why y'all get along. I love it. All right, so allow me to be petty for just 1 second, but Kandi, I'm gonna need you to pressure wash the sidewalk right outside there, okay, ma'am? Because everything counts and it looks a mess. All you need is a little pressure wash and it will look so much better. But I'm gonna shoot you some bail because you are just now getting a GM or whatever. So maybe he'll see that and take care of it soon. So Kandi go over to talk to the aunties and the mama, the OLG gang, and Aunt Nora is 82, Aunt Bertha is 80, and Aunt Bertha got on some Red Rouge that is all over her cheeks, her chin, and her forehead. And I'm like, who did that to her? Why y'all do it? It's super, super red. It looks a mess. But yeah, yay for these women, being that age and still kicking. I love it. But I will admit I miss their other auntie. One that passed, the one that said this is a scheme that Todd set up to come to us with the bullshit. And then she turned around in the chair like she really said something. Oh my God. She was hilarious because she was for real, for real. Listen, she was not playing with Todd for real, for real. Okay, so Candy take the aunties and the mama out by themselves to find out what they think is going on. And Bertha think ain't none of them worth a damn. Mama Joy says the manager don't give a shit about the place, and she heard him say it. He told Mama Joyce that she told Brandon something rude, and she's like, "No, I didn't, girl. Yes, you did." And then Bertha says that, listen, if you gotta work with me and I gotta work with you, don't give me that nasty attitude. And she says the girl that used to work there, talking about the hostess, and she says Chandrilla, and Candy's like, Chandrika, she still worked there. Yeah, that's because she shouldn't. That's why Aunt Bertha thought she was gone, because the bra should have been gone a long time ago. Candy met with them, and in her confessional, she basically said, listen, when I decided to name the restaurant OLG, I just wanted their recipes and for them to take a picture or two. I did not want them to try to run the restaurant. So she sits them down and she lets them know, listen, stay out the kitchen, basically. Bottom line. All right, y'all, I'm already over at almost 17 minutes, and I am not even halfway through this this episode. So I think it's gonna run a little long, but that's because it's the premiere and we are being introduced to all these different people. I'm gonna try to speed it up though. I have so many opinions, But Torin comes in. He's the one that's doing the event planning for the OLG. Apparently, he used to work there. He has this really good attitude that they all love. His style, all that or whatever. Okay, great. They want him back. Kandi seems to want all of her old people to come and work for her again. And I'm like, well, why'd they leave? But okay, we're gonna let her go with it. Okay, Torin used to host the Friday Night Live, and apparently that was something that they did on Fridays, and he always hosted. They stopped having it. And is that where people was shooting? I want to say it was during brunch though, wasn't it? Wasn't it during brunch? I don't know, but yeah. So Torin said in his confessional that he stopped working there because he was doing that, and then he would come in and do some other stuff, and he was like stretching himself thin, so he just quit altogether. But if they want him back, he's willing to come back. Great. Yeah, they give this backyard party, and okay, it's cute or whatever, but these girls coming through in they short dresses and super high heels. I'm like, girl, you are going to the parking lot. Okay. But okay. Chandrika coming in, she got these things laced all the way up to her knees, looking a hot ass mess. Her and her wig. And when she comes in, I don't know who called her Fashion Nova, but they said, okay, Fashion Nova. Like she was really walking like she was doing something. Not feeling her at all. And then he eventually comes to the back. Chandrika is rolling her eyes, and in confessional, she says that she figured out what she's going to do. She's just going to do what he say and shut up and go home. And I'm like, no shit. That's exactly what you're going to do if you want to have a job. Ma'am, who told you that? You being sent home? That kind of opened your eyes? Dumbass. Right, so then we get a little confusion with Dom telling Brandon, the manager, to come sit with the cool kids. He comes sit next to her. She's talking about all the sexual energy that they have or whatever, and she's telling him, I just got to try not to touch you, period. And he's like, we're just professional or whatever. And I'm like, that sounds like they've already been messing around. Like literally, if you've already been messing around with somebody and y'all in public, and it's hard not to really, touch them if that's what you've been doing in private or whatever, it's kind of hard. Yeah. But then that's okay. I'm jumping ahead. But Chandrika kind of peeps it, and she's like, oh, I see you, Dom. Interesting that when Todd and Kandi pulled up, she comes out waving like she's in a parade. And I mean, maybe they just didn't show us anybody waving or coming up to her to hug her or whatever, but she is like taking pictures of the OLG and dancing and talking to them. Like, I don't really see her mingling with these people. I don't. So then we meet Brian. He looks a hot ass mess, you guys. He got this curly hair on, and then he tells Kandi that it's a toupee. She's like, okay, great, who cares? And yeah, he looks a mess. But he obviously has his own business. She's trying to get him to come back. I guess he's coming back too. So, for the sake of television, everybody that she wants to come back is going to go ahead and come back. So then we're introduced to Richard, and he's gonna come in, be a host or whatever. He's coming from Blaze. He is very well dressed, and I like him so far. He seems nice. She introduces him to Chandrika, and he says, "I hear you the top dog," and I'm like, "No, she is not. My baby Philip is." You guys, I've decided that I'm gonna call him my baby Philip going forward. Thank you. Um, but yeah, so she really does think she's the top dog. Funny is she's telling him, "Oh, I'll show you the ropes," and I'm like, I'm pretty sure Kandi wants him to come show you how to be more professional. It's just funny how that's working out. Rashad is shading the shit out of Dom and Chandrika. Well, mostly Dom, because she's talking about, I'm drunk. He's like, you are drunk. She said, I'm not drunk. He said, you just said you are. And then she's acting a mess. And he's in his confessional saying, listen, I hope I don't ever get that way when I'm that old. Mom acts like she's gonna throw up, and it totally stresses Richard out. Like, everybody sees her, and it's a hot mess. So Todd says, wrap the bar up. Like, everybody is gone, and I don't want them getting too far gone, but they're already gone. So can I just say that poor little Richard, they brought him over from Blaze over to OLG. She specifically asked him to come, and then she's paying him less. I think that's real shitty. That's real shitty, Kandi. I don't like it. All right, y'all. I really am gonna try to go faster. We see Chandrika. They're trying to open, and they're like, "We gotta open on time." Chandrika's in her car, and she's late. She's like 10 minutes away, even though they open in 6 minutes. She's taking rollers out her terrible ass wig, talking about she look cute. Ma'am, no, you don't. Comes in as they are opening. How many times I gotta say no, ma'am? I'm telling you, she will be gone. I'm gonna try not to keep saying that, but God, she will be gone. Apparently it's Saturday. They have like 3 different rushes or whatever, so it's pretty crowded. Have a 2.5 hour wait. No, it's just never that serious. And from what I heard about the food, it really is hit or miss. Like the guy with the toupee said, he said like Patti LaBelle singing. I do not agree with him on that, but he did say that the food is hit or miss. And from what I heard with everyone that's been there, it is true. So yeah, she's being Chandrika. She's sending poor little Richard up and down the stairs. She's trying to seat people downstairs to wait, but he's like, listen, we have no more no more seats downstairs, and I'm not trying to run up and down the stairs all day long, even though that's what she had him do. We see Dom and Brandon like really flirting. He's talking about the sexual tension. She's talking about the sexual tension. I'm like, y'all already doing it. So what are you talking about? He's talking about how there's no fraternizing or whatever, but he was an actual patron, and he saw her and decided, okay, she's cute, let me go ahead and work there. And I'm like, stalker much? That's a little stalkerish. That's not cute. He asked her out. She's like, I'm gonna be tired or whatever. I don't know. I really don't care about them. I really don't. And now the worst thing ever, the power goes out, and apparently it's hot. Philip is like, why did that just happen? Like, he's not used to this shit. Kandi says she's used to it. She knows that it goes out, and they don't have and I'm telling you, right before she said they don't have a generator, I'm like, why do they not have a generator, a backup generator? She says they don't have a generator, and we know that it goes out a lot around here. We don't have a generator. That's dumb as hell. And she has way too much money to be running business like this. In the confessional, Todd is like, yeah, we should have a backup generator. However, we got to go and get this kind of permit and this and that. And I'm like, so basically y'all don't want to take care of business at your business? Like, when I tell you this did them no justice, I don't want to go here. I don't want to go here. You got people eating in the dark. You got people burning up. You got Philip saying people can't leave because they could basically run out on their check. He's saying how they don't even have a backup situation for the credit cards. Like, if something goes down, y'all don't even have anything where you can still take payments. So yeah, he's used to something different. I agree with him. Ugh, just terrible. Walking around talking about how was everything. I hope y'all still got good memories, even though Bitch, get away because you can definitely afford a backup generator. It's ridiculous. It really is. And the only one that cares about payments or the business itself is Philip, where he's telling Brandon, go try to figure out how to get their payments or whatever. You got every staff member trying to sit down. He's telling the kitchen people, go try to do something. It's ridiculous. He's going to leave. Now we see why they had all of their other general managers leave. It's just ridiculous. It's a total shit show. You guys, that was the end. So basically, we ended with Philip saying how prepared they are not. They don't have a manual card reader, this and that, or whatever. And he's like, yeah, there's lots of work to be done. And then we see what's coming up in the season. All right. I won't lie. I was entertained, for this first premiere. It was way better than Portia's situation. But again, it's not doing Kandi any justice because how many of y'all still want to go eat there? And them little bitty ass seats and everything. But if you are still here, you are the real MVP. I appreciate you. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you have not subscribed already, please do. I would appreciate it if you would. And I will see you guys in the next video. Smooches.